Alright everybody, welcome back to the fourth match here with Mardu Pyromancer in this modern competitive league. We're currently 2-1. And our opener is quite slow. Can we keep this? 4 lands, do nothing until turn 3 on the draw? I think this is a pretty sketchy one, right? If we knew the matchup, this hand might be okay. But because we don't know the matchup, I think we want to prioritize mulliganing here. Modern can often be a turn 3 format. I lost over in regionals. I lost to Affinity on like turn 3. And that's through disruption. So it's just like it's tough. It's tough. I think this is definitely going to be a mulligan. Even though our opponent goes down to 6, I think we can do better. And this is actually better. This is arguably much better. And hopefully we can scry a land to the top. That way we're not digging for a bunch of lands with this Faithless Looting, but I think turn 1 we'll just go ahead and get a Thoughtseize out there. Put it on a Horizon Canopy. Could be humans here. No turn 1 play from humans is a good sign. So getting this Bolt is even more of a sign that we should fetch for a red source. Kitesail, Freebooter, Thalia's Lieutenant. Why didn't they play the Noble Hierarch? Oh, I'm very confused. Very confused. Do we take it, though? It does keep them off of lands for a little bit. We can bolt the Thalia's Lieutenant. I think so. I think we don't want to give them an opportunity to get too many double spell turns. Alright, there's a Horizon Canopy. Champion of the Parish. Okay. That does grow out of range from Bolt pretty quick. I think this turn we just have to dig for a land, and we found it. Thankfully, we found it. And before our opponent commits their spell for the turn, I'm going to go ahead and see what they do. If they want to go in Thalia's Lieutenant here, then now I'm going to go and bolt that on the stack. We can just get a basic mountain here. Don't need to shock ourselves. And now what we can do next turn is clean up this Thalia with a Liliana, the Last Hope, and our opponent's going to be really far behind from an onboard Lily, the Last Hope. Bam! And we even have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instant sorcery in the yard. Bedlam Reveler is already online. Our opponent is disincentivized to play things like Noble Hierarchs or Thalias right now. And yeah, looks like our opponent concedes to Liliana, the Last Hope. Doing work there. Doing work. Against humans, we definitely want EE. Definitely want another removal spell and Collective Brutality. Anguish Unmaking is okay. Hazoret can maybe block the board. Kumbal, definitely not what we want. So now let's consider sideboarding. So I want to maximize interaction in a matchup like this. So I probably want to cut down to 1 Blood Moon, as it can sometimes cheese them. But on the draw, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Blood Moon is not the card we want. We want maximum interaction. Anguished Unmaking is pretty good here too. The question is, what do we want to cut? Maybe we want to cut a Thoughtseize on the draw. Although Thoughtseize is pretty good at hitting like just all their payoffs, but I think that's okay. I think, well, yeah, I think I'm okay with cutting a Thoughtseize. Not the best card in the matchup, that's for sure. So we didn't come with much hate for them in this game. We didn't come with Ensnaring Bridges. We didn't come with, Anger of the Gods. We didn't come with, like, I don't know, Kozilek's Returns or any funky sweeper like that. So this matchup could be a little tricky. But if we have a solid curve like we did last game, where we can take our opponent off tempo and make them so they can't cast all the spells in their hand at the time that they want, then we might be in a favorable position. However, we're going to really need to have a solid opener for that to work. And again, I don't think Blood Moon is where we want to be on the draw, but on the play, I think Blood Moon is something we should reconsider if that's something we have to do. If we lose Game 2, then we can think about bringing in Blood Moon for Game 3. Again, Hazoret's a nice blocker, but they're assuredly keeping in some number of Reflector Mage, and so Hazoret does not line up great against Reflector Mage. So that's why we're not We're not going to aggressively side that in, especially because this is a matchup where we just win with tokens and flooding the board and drawing cards. We don't win it with like big dumb blockers on the ground. We win it usually by going wide and by answering most of the threats that our opponent has, or invalidating most of the threats that our opponent has. But as you saw, Liliana the Last Hope, I think did a lot of nice work in that matchup. I really was impressed. Oh, so our opponent did scry to the top probably with their mulligan, which is why they didn't play their Hierarch. They were saving it so they could get a token or a counter on whatchamacallit. They wanted to get a counter on their Champion of the Parish. Wow, I took me a bit, but I got there. Let's take a look at our opener here. A lot of lands. This is really land heavy, but it's going to be really hard for me to mulligan a hand like this. This definitely loses to some of humans' best starts, but if our opponent has a little bit of a clunker here, all right, that is so bad. That is so bad. That means we can't kill Athalia here. But if we run into a kite, if they play Kitesail Freebooter, we definitely kill the Kitesail. They could just play like a Meddling Mage and just... Ooh, name Meddling Mage? Yeah, I mean, name Lightning Bolt. We can't interact with that. We can't Lightning Bolt in response there, so... maybe we telegraph the Lightning Bolt by leading with Blackleaf Cliffs. Yeah. I mean, we have removal spells for that. We have Fatal Pushes and the like. Let's go ahead and start with this Faceless Looting. That's a great draw here. I think we just want to discard a bunch of lands. I'm not going to lie. And then probably discard one of these souls. Could discard both of these souls. Yeah, I'm okay with discarding both. Alright, so Liliana's not bad. I mean, it's pretty likely our opponent plays something here, which means we can't downtick on just the Meddling Mage. But if they play something like a Mantis Rider here, they might be incentivized to sacrifice the Mantis Rider as to not unlock the Lightning Bolts in our hand. Ooh, Kitesail Freebooter here. Oh, Sin Collector? Sin Collector is okay. Yeah, Sin Collector's annoying. It takes it, but obviously they're just taking a card that we wouldn't have gotten to cast anyways. This does pose the question of if we draw a 1-mana instant and sorcery, whether we should even play Liliana of the Veil. She's not getting any better though. Anguished Unmaking. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I think we hold that up. And next turn we can go Pyromancer plus Lingering Souls. Go up the board with a bunch of stuff. If they go Mantis Rider here, then I'm going to be happy that I... Wow, did they just have another Sin Collector here? Kitesail Freebooter. I'm going to let that resolve, and then I'm going to go and exile the Meddling Mage. As it saves us 2 points of life this turn, and it means future Lightning Bolts can be accessed. I guess this does take our Liliana of the Veil, but I'm not too worried about that. Again, next turn, Pyromancer plus Lingering Souls Flashback should be a solid setup here. And we even have a Collective Brutality to free up this Kitesail Freebooter if we need to. Athalia's Lieutenant would be kind of annoying here, but we do have a lot of stuff to gum up the ground here. Do we have Path to Exile? Dismember? Dismember would be quite insane. Yep, alright, that's a Dismember. That is a Dismember, alright. Well, there goes a little bit of our value engine, because again, Young Pyromancer really does take over this game. So that's a good call by my opponent here. I wonder how they're going to play out this next turn, though. We have another Sin Collector here. Zathra Necromancer. Alright. That's pretty good. Not the end of the world. We can just kill it and give him a zombie. We're down a card, but... Wow. Oh, sure. That gives him a zombie. So I think I'll take the 2 here. Don't want to give them the zombie. That's a nice... Yep, I think we could flashback Lingering Souls here. There is just no need to do that, though. Because I think we may want to hold up Fatal Push to keep up against the Kitesail Freebooter, and that way we can free up our Liliana, start down-ticking. I wonder what my opponent has here. They might just be stuck on a bunch of black cards. They have another Zathra Necromancer. Jeez. Well, it looks like our opponent came prepared for this matchup. Right. So not the end of the world here again. We can find another removal spell for this Zathra Necromancer and be in okay shape probably. Yeah, I think at this point we just need to keep our life total high. Yeah, they get a zombie out of this. It's annoying. But, well, that's not a bad draw. And again, I want to favorably trade with these zombies. If they attack with Necromancer, I want to trade with a Necromancer. If they have a... what do you call it? The Mantis Rider off the top. I'm going to want to triple block it with my spirits. I guess it's not really off the top. They're sitting on a lot of cards in hand. Yep, that's a Mantis Rider that turns into a zombie. Is it Static Caster? Oh my god. Ah, that is so rough for us here. Holy crap. We need a Lightning Bolt right now. They're just swinging. Engineered Explosives maybe keeps us alive a turn here. Wow. There's the Engineered Explosives, but no second land. Oh, we're just dead, right? Yep. Brush it off. That's what humans does. That is exactly what humans does. That was a really quite frustrating game. Maybe we want Hazaret on the play. I don't know. That seems kind of loose. Again, they had a pretty heavy reliance on black there, so I actually think we probably want to side in these Blood Moons. Maybe take away a Thoughtseize. Take away one other card. Now let's just cut all of our Thoughtseizes on the draw. Or on the play, excuse me. And now I think we just want to get it. I mean, after seeing their sideboard plan is so reliant, so reliant on black, I think Blood Moon is an absolutely very respectable card to be playing right now. I think this matchup, it always goes this way where like I steal game 1 and then game 2 and 3 they just seem to have it all. Yeah, let's go ahead and play first. Oh god, I don't think this hand is good enough. I mean, we have Engineered Explosives. We don't have any removal. I think this hand is much better. It's a bit of an aggressive mulligan, but I think it's better. Yeah. I think here I lead with Inquisition. Alright, a lot of Meddling Mages, Kitesail Freebooters, Zathra Necromancer. That card is going to be so uncomfortable to deal with. Double Meddling Mage is pretty strong. They definitely name Lightning Bolt the first time around, usually. And they could even get a free... Yeah, God, the Zathra Necromancer just makes life so difficult, but I think we're just supposed to take the Kitesail Freebooter here. Alright, they did not draw a 1-drop, which is good. I think there's an argument to shocking here. It's going to feel pretty bad if we didn't need to do that. There's the Blood Moon. There is the Blood Moon. Alright, hold the baby. Hold the baby. Alright, no Kitetail Freebooter just yet, hopefully from our opponent. There's a Cavern of Souls, so they still have 2 unknowns in hand. Please no Kitetail Freebooter, because our plays this game have not gone in the favor of a Kitetail Freebooter. Alright, Meddling Mage? Sure. Naming Lingering Souls or Faithless Looting, I imagine, but they could just name the Lightning Bolt, which we might be representing here. Yep, sure. Alright, that's a Blood Moon with 4 instants and sorcery in the yard, which means 1 land makes Bedlam Reveler castable. Otherwise, we just play Young Pyromancer. Alright. Enjoy your mono red deck, opponent. Again, I don't want to use up the cards in my graveyard right now. They can always draw an Aether Vial, don't get me wrong. They still play Aether Vials in their deck. I think I just trade here. Yep, and there's a Lightning Bolt off the top, which means we can even fire that off on end step if we want to. And that'll make Bedlam Reveler castable. Alright, opponent drew another land. And I think we want to do that. I know it's a little bit aggressive, but the longer this game goes, the sooner they find a plains, the faster we're dead. Well, let me make sure I'm doing the math right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So we might as well run out this EE on 0. And come on. Come on. Let's get there. Let's get there. And our opponent concedes Blood Moon on the play versus Blood Moon on the draw. I'm telling you guys, it's a really big distinction to keep in mind in the humans matchup. I really think it's important. I don't think it's a card you want on the draw, but I think it's an absolutely respectable game plan on the play, especially when you can lead with Inquisition to deal with Aether Vials and Noble Hierarchs, or just bolt those dorks, and then, you can kill Athalia on the play with a Lightning Bolt or a Fatal Push, and therefore that still leads the way to Blood Moon. On the draw, it's much harder to do that, and then your opponent still gets to play something on turn 3 before you even land a Blood Moon. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. That was the matchup against 5-color humans. Stay tuned for the 5th and final match in this modern competitive league.